Can you guys tell me the P2P cycle? In or no, so not in the P2P cycle. Can you guys tell me the materials management, the modules that I told you about, what is linked with the materials management, or any of the other modules? Because I wanted to make sure that you guys know. Okay, can you guys just tell me about that? Any two or three different modules what we learned last time?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, it is related to the production and planning and inventory management and
Okay.
CRM and
Okay.
relate to the sales and marketing.
Okay.
These are the models to relate with the MM.
Okay. Great. Uh, Fine. So these are the modules. Now let's continue to our phase one first part, which is today's session. It's all going to be about how we will get to know about the TRs. Okay. Uh, okay. So this is also going to be a theoretical session. From today, I will be arranging the servers for you guys. Server means you will be able to know the tool exactly, right? So what's a GUI? Graphical user interface. That tool will be giving you, okay? And how does a SAP actually looks like? So this is the training document. I think one of you guys, or maybe Deepak Kumar Sharma, maybe that guy, maybe he was asking about this document. I'll send you this document. It will be uploaded. It will be uploaded. This is just a training document. You do not need to rush. You do not need to learn on your own. I'll tell you what this document means. And this is a 192-page document. This is all you need for your resume, for a knowledge up to a experience of 3 years. But there are different aspects of this document. You have support, you have implementations, and you also have one thing that I would call out. It is the RISE FWs, okay? But it doesn't teach the interfaces. So interface, workflows, activate methodology, everything what is not in this document, I'll also be sending this. This is a well-versed, the entire gist that I would call it as the perfect sphere of all the knowledge you need to know in the SAP Metals Management as for HANA. That is there in this document. I'll just zoom it a little more for you guys. I hope this is visible, right? So, what is S4 HANA landscape? And what does a landscape actually mean? Can anyone tell me about a landscape from you guys? Do you guys know about landscape? Anuj, iPhone user, Rajat, Raghunath? Anyone? Great. Okay, so landscape in SAP means the servers. So what does a server actually mean? So we have clients and we have servers. So when I talk about a server, it means you cannot, let's take example. Okay, let's not get into definitions. You cannot develop the entire thing at one go. Let's say I gave you a requirement. Okay, Anuj, I need to get one PO entire configuration in SAP MM. But the client has not been there yet, right? The client is like, okay, give me a demo and give me an entire P2P cycle, one cycle from contract sourcing to the invoicing, the P2P cycle. In that cycle, if the client is like, okay, give me a demo, how will Anuj go and be like, or how will Raghunath go and be like, okay, so this is the entire development process, and I have configured in the system such that you will get to know the P2P cycle. Okay. But in that process, you will not be able to get the client requirement 100%. But what do I mean by that? There might be some customization, there might be some additional fields. What is the additional field? In the PO header, you have a custom tab. Custom tab means anything that I want to do as a custom change, or I want to add a field. Let's say you have a addition called uh, you, you have addition called the name of the person that is approving, or the name of the person who is creating. That kind of details can be there. It's a just example. It can be anything. It can be like you have a external PO. External PO means they're in India. In government clients, there is a thing called GEM portal, Government E-Marketplace. So I worked with two of the government clients. They were using NIT. NIT means tendering document. So to which tender is that PO referring? So the tender is the first document during when you refer to the quotations. Before the quotations, you give the tender. Okay, this is the scope of work, and for this you need to give me a quote. In that case, the the person, let's say, uh, the vendor should be, sorry, the consultant should be well versed enough to get the client requirement, get it done, and make sure the development is ready. So in development, you develop. So as the name suggests, this is a development. Okay, development means to develop. So you develop the basic configurations. Let's say the entire P2P cycle you have developed, and then uh, other configurations would also be there. There would be business partner, there would be workflows. It doesn't just get limited to MM. It gets also extended to other modules as well, cross module. Like I would say, there is a PM module, plant maintenance module. So in the plant maintenance, you have a cross component, which is the order. And IW33, there is a T code called IW33 in the plant maintenance module, which makes these services for your service entry sheet in the materials management, or I would call in the layman term, I would call it as a logbook entry. So which some of you might be end users. End user would understand what is a logbook. So once you get the services done, you make an entry. Okay, this much work is done, and then you submit it to your superintending or your executive engineer, and then it gets approved. Then it went to the goes to the account department for the payment clearing. Same process we are doing. Okay, so you have the development server in which you develop the entire SAP MM configuration. Once that configuration, okay, Shashank is there. Hi, Shashank. Great. Okay. So we have the development server. So in the development server, you develop, right? I'll tell you what is this. What does this mean? I'll tell you in just a minute. Then you have a quality server. So the quality server means to test the quality. You put a quality server in the middle because you cannot directly give it to the client. So this is a testing server. Quality means you do a quality check. So development means what? To develop. Quality means to do a quality check. The production server means to give it to the live environment. Live environment means the client will use. So how this works? So there are three different clients. A server is a separate server. So let's say I'll give you example of a server. So in SAP, what happens is you have different kinds of servers. So I'll just show you one of the photos that will work for you guys right now. But tomorrow we'll give you the server. I'll help you guys log in. Okay, just 1 second. Images. So you can see, right? These are the servers, and once you put great. Once you put all these will have some different amount of capacity of terabytes of space. Okay, so once you have all these set up, but you need to develop what you need to develop an environment where you can do the configuration. So a server setup would something look like this. Right now I don't have a server, but I'll show you once it is there. Okay, or I can show you the next 20-30 minutes. So what we have is a server. So how a SAP looks like is you have to enter the details and you will get login. But what will you do after login? You will have different T codes, you will have different accesses. So this is a server point. Okay. A server point means you will have, let's say, you'll have this particular server. Once again, it is loading. Yeah, you have this server, right? But in this server, let's say this is a SAP MM server. Okay, with this course we are also giving you servers, and in that you will have a client. So what is a client? So like I was showing you here, a client means you will have, let's say you have developed one requirement. You have developed one requirement from your client, that is, let's say Tata Steel wants to put some custom things like instead of material, they also want to put their own internal number range of that material, or they want to put their own internal document somewhere, or something that is not in a standard SAP process. So you'll do what? You will go to golden client. What does golden client means? Any development that happens will happen in the golden client, and then it gets to the testing server. So you did one development, then you will get into the testing server, you will check it. You'll check it once it is, if it is working correctly or not, then you will test it. You will show it to you will test it with the other clients as well, like if this configuration is correctly working or not. Then you have another server which will be a replication of the, if your production is live, it will be replicated with the production. You can move the golden client changes to the testing client as well. So this is for, this won't have any of the production level changes. One server would be having production level changes, or if it's not live, you can test in both of the clients, or you can test in one. You can give a quality check. Okay, this is done. Then you move it to the next server. So in the next server, you will have the testing. You will do, you will once you have checked, you will also check here. You'll show your changes to the client. That process is called UAT. UAT is a phase in the documentation part. when you when you have developed the system, and when you have checked the entire system for the quality purposes, and the client will be like, okay, I have checked now. So in that duration, in that phase, what you will do is you will sit with the client. You will say, okay sir, this is what I have changed, or okay ma'am, this is what I have changed, can you please validate? So with a step by step document, they'll validate what server, what changes you have done in the server, and they will do a quality checkup. So once that quality checkup is done, what they'll do is they'll say, okay, go ahead. When you get a confirmation from the client, from this server, you'll move it to the production server. So what happens in a production server is the server is used to enter into the live business. Okay. So this means that it, or whatever changes you have done, it will go to which server? It will go to production. Production means it is a live environment of the client. Any changes, any direct changes to the live environment of a client will hamper their business. And any hampering to the business process means financial losses. And if you're liable for financial losses, there would be actions against you. So there would be escalation, client escalation, and eventually that will be very bad. So in that case, before getting to the production server, you have to face the development system. In the development server, you will have different clients: golden client, testing client. Golden client, it would be where you do all the configuration. There would be a sandbox system also. Sandbox means it is always open. You do not need to open the sandbox system. Golden client, you need to ask the permission. There would be changes, there would be transport requests for which you need to ask the permissions. Then it will get to another system called the testing clients. That testing clients will be there, in which you will test the you will test the developmental changes in the testing server. Okay. It can also be a copy of a production system. It can be a replica, or it cannot be a replica. It can be a clean system in which you have to create your own data from scratch. Then comes the quality server, right? Quality check is done. It goes to production. Any doubts still here? Guys, any doubts to anyone? Shinu, Raghunath, Anuj,
No doubts.
oh sorry, Shishu, Shashank. Guys, I know you by your names. Please ask doubts. If you do not have doubts, we'll continue again. Okay, so this is the entire thing. Like I was explaining, you have the development server, quality server, production server, and you have a sandbox server. Sandbox server is like a, it's like a box. Okay, sandbox, as it says, sandbox is like you play with the sand and you erase it. Okay, so you can make a pyramid out of that sand, and you can also make it uh, plain. Okay, you can destroy everything. So what happens in a sandbox server is it is used to learn with new things. New things means, let's say a client gave me a change means, so I'll give you example. They wanted MSME number. How many of you know what is a MSME? Can anyone tell what is a MSME?
medium scale,
Yeah,
right?
medium, small, micro
Or like,
enterprises, MSME. So under the Startup India program, MSME companies have got a lot of growth in the recent years. So in one of my clients, they asked me, Aman, can you do one simple change for me? Can you tell me how to integrate MSME certification number? There's a particular certification number of 16 digits. That 16 digits, I need to put the date, validate date from start to and from. Okay, valid to and from. That date is needed to be done. That MSME certificate number is needed to be captured. So one was standard. Okay, the standard field I used certificate number in the purchasing view of the material, of the vendor master. Vendor master is what? Your business partners. In the business partner, it's a role based process. In that role base, what I did was I used that certificate number, I put it down, and there was one validity date that was a custom field. So you need to check what can be done. So I cannot do it in the production environment, right? Because let's say there's a vendor, let's say there's a Jindal Steel vendor, okay, for Tata Steel. Example. This is a very vague example. It doesn't refer. Or let's see there is a mining ore vendor, okay, let's say, from Jharkhand or somewhere. That vendor is supplying to Jamshedpur steel plant. Now, in that case, what will happen is that that ore vendor or iron ore vendor, they're putting procuring everything, and now I have changed some values in that vendor, like a maybe it can be account details, maybe it can be anything. That vendor will also face financial losses, right? What if his invoice gets approved and it doesn't get credited to the right account? So you need to have your perfect details in the production system. So the production system access, we do not require that production system access. Why? Because in the live environment, you will face a lot of changes. And if you do it directly to the production system, it will also hamper business process. That cannot be done. So any solution you need to provide to the client, you gather the requirements, you make a document out of it, you get it approved, and then you change in your system and then get that changes tested by the client in the quality system and that get it approved. So to maintain the integrity of the production system, you have different servers, that is the development, quality, and production system. Sandbox is for testing, or you can learn new things. Learn new things means it is always open in the project. Production and development system, the golden client, you need to get approval first, I think here. So to maintain client solution requirement, the golden client is already there, but you need to get the client approval as well, that I am going to do this changes since you have given me this requirement. Then quality you already know. And production system, like I said, consultants do not have the access to the production system. Why? Because once you get the access, you can change the entire process. You can also destroy the system. Destroy means you will, let's say there's a T code called of the basis. Yeah, it's called Sara. You can just take a batch, you can take a backup of everything, and you can also clean the environment. So any access given to you guys can also be harmful for other modules as well. For example, if I go to FS00, which is a GL master, and I change any GLs, the general ledger is the backbone of SAP Finance. If I change those GL or even I can delete them. If I have that access, it will be very dangerous for the finance FICO model guys. If I have the access of SD, if I have the access of enterprise structure, and to change the company codes or to change, like company code cannot be changed, but I can create a new one, I can do alterations with the assignments. That will hamper what? That will hamper the client process. It should not be done. Okay, so we do not have the access to the production. Direct access will not be given. It can be given of the client, let's say via firefighting ID, which is a maintenance ID. Let's say you have been a part of a rollout project, and that project got rolled out. Then you can tell like, okay, now I need a maintenance ID and I am going to maintain the server with the firefighting ID, and that will be like, you will be able to uh, let's say you will be able to make sure that any changes or updation in the metal master is carried out, or any changes other than not just the metal master, it can be for the vendor master, it can be for the PO. Let's say a PO got stuck in the workflow. How will you do it? So the perfect solution for it is to get into the workflow, get to the workflow workbench, which is SWIA, particular T code, and then we validate what happened with the PO. So the troubleshooting errors, all that I'll teach you. I'll teach you what is the workflow, what is SWIA, IJ, I1. So we'll get into basics and details of everything. So let's say you have a logon pad, right? What is a logon pad? SAP logon pad looks like this. One second. Yeah, one second. Photos. Yeah, this is the photos. So this is a logon pad. It looks very boring, so don't just judge with the looks. So this is the initial server SAP logon pad. I am just showing photos because I do not have the access right now, but by the end of this second half, maybe I can show you a better picture. So let's just get it outside of the scope right now. One second. Great. So we have different servers. Okay. So this is a real-time example. Okay. What's a real-time example, right? You have each client. Okay. Like I was telling about the server. Let's get back to the picture. Like I was telling for the development server. So you have different clients. A client is identified by a three-digit number. A number can be 100, 200, 300, or it can be 100, 800, and 900, something like that. So once you change that number, it will change the client. So a client is a subset of a server. Okay. So there would be different clients in a single server. Why? Because we need to test. So let's say you did one change. Okay. Where is that? Okay. Let's say you did one change, and once you are into the login details of the server, you have changed 100. Instead of 100, you put 101. Okay. So that will be your testing client. So this is a real life example. Let's get to the project one. So you have development server, golden client, and testing client. It can be a sandbox or it can be a testing client. Both can be done, because sandbox is also like a testing client, but it is like having all the datas or the replicas of the production system. So what you're testing in the production directly, you can test directly in that sandbox, and you can learn and innovate into new things. Okay. So development server, project one, you have what? 100. So it will continue in the series of 100. Like second also, it will also continue in the series of at 800 only. So if I'm going to change the server details, it will the development server is one sequence, quality is 2, here it is 8. So there are different sequences of it. Okay. So if I change the sequence entirely to 200 instead of 101 or 100, if I change it to 2, I'll get into quality, and I'll get into production if I change it to 300. Similarly here, if I change it to 900, it will get into the production system, production server. And the third is you will get into the production server if you change it to 450. So in that case, there are different servers. Okay. I hope that is clear. If it is not clear, it will get more clear once I show you the system. There has been a little delay. I'll get you the servers, and then we'll get to know. So you have a user ID and password. Okay. So you can change a password by your own in 24 hours. I can show you one of the examples of like how to change the password and all that. So once you get a new ID, you can change the password. And for your own practice right now, you do not need to change the password. We'll help you do it, but uh, do not change the passwords on your own. Okay. And if you give a password wrong 3 times, SAP will lock it. So this is one of the basic errors troubleshooting which you can see. Because what happens is, this is a part of a module called basis. They have written it wrong, but okay. It is called basic. uh, Basis means the system admin module. So what they do is they lock the ID. There's a T code called SU01. In SU01, you can change the user ID and password of clients. So since I have given support as well in one of the implementation project that I did, so it was an implementation plus support. So greenfield is the implementation project, and the support is your brownfield project. So in that, there would be basis, there would be security, there would be different modules for which I'll tell you how it is done. I'll show you the T codes, we'll run it through. Once done, you'll get to know the entire crux of the operations. So what happens if you change the password 3 times, or if you put wrong 3 times, it will lock. Okay. The default SAP language is English, and DE means German. It's a Germany-based software, which I already told you, 1972, Wall of Germany, which was the birth and currently the SAP headquarters of SAP SE. And in English, the default system would be given to you guys as a system setting that we have already done for you. You do not need to know. And we have different access IDs. One is called SAP Easy Access. So Easy Access is like you will have you will have a navigation path. So in the navigation path, how you need to get into the different system settings. Let's say I want to make a PO. So how will I get into the PO path? So the navigation settings comes from Easy Access, and then we have the SAP IMG guide. IMG guide means implementation guide. There's IMG screen for implementation guide, and we can use the T codes, and we can also use the navigation path. I always recommend to use the navigation path, not the T codes, because I might remember OX10, which is for the plant creation, or OX09, or maybe OX01. But you guys will not be able to remember. Let's say you want to get into one of the navigation path. Once again, I'll show you this one. Somebody was asking me about organization data company code. I'll say this is OX15 for company codes, right? This is for a finance consultant, OX15. You will not be able to remember all the T codes. There are different T codes. There are hundreds of them. How many will you remember? Instead of that, just go logically. SAP is a logical system. Go logically, one by one path by one path. I'll show you how it is done, but let's get back. So we have something called the navigation path. What is a navigation path? We'll go to SPRO screen. I'll show you what does a SPRO screen looks like, and then we will put our particular T code. Okay, that will be very helpful for you guys. And whenever you want to log out of a system, you can put /NEX. /NEX means exit. There are two types of T codes. Once you put /O means open a new window. /N means exit. Okay, /N means new, and EX means exit. So you'll log off. So how to log in, log off, that will be done. Okay. Any doubts still here? Anyone? Raghunath,
No doubt. No doubt.
Anuj, Shashank?
No, sir.
Great, great. Okay. Do you guys need a break? Like for 5-10 minutes? I got one feedback from one of our counselors that I keep on speaking, and you guys get a little into maybe zone out state. Okay, it's been 40 minutes. The average time a person can be attentive is 40 minutes. Okay, so let's put a small break, 5 minutes or 10 minutes maybe. That'll work for you guys, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, done. Thank you. Uh, just stay on the call. हाय रजत, इट्स लाइक 5 मिनट स्मॉल ब्रेक. आपको कुछ पूछना है, कुछ समझना है, आप हिंदी में पूछ सकते हो, राइट? रजत, आपको समझ में आया आज? ओके.
Hi, Aman. Shashank here.
हाय शशांक.
Actually, due to the it was not login, so I joined late.
I
And
already sent you the link, right? Zoom link में आपको कोई like what was the issue in the Zoom link?
actually, I didn't receive the Zoom link. I received no because Arushi told that I didn't add her. That's why I didn't receive.
Okay, okay.
And in
But
dashboard also, I
but
am unable to
also
log in.
Shami was also there, right? Let me get it straight. What we'll do is
Mhm.
1 second. Okay, what I can do for you guys is We can only make one POC. POC means point of contact.
Okay.
Only Arushi can be there for you guys, and or else Shami can take care. So what we'll do for you is, once you guys are comfortable, we can send you all the meeting links. So I'll share the meeting link, because
Okay.
we have the broadcast on, right. We give it to everyone, so it's not
Mhm.
easy for everyone to, because we have parallel batches running. We have other batches running for WM as well.
Okay.
So right now there might be a little inconvenience for you. I'm getting that point. I'll be happy to get you on board with other details, like about whatever I taught. If you join late, we can just get it a revise session. So right now, what I'm doing is, while you guys are on break for 5-10 minutes, I'm making sure that we get the entire system access. Okay, so
Yeah.
I've installed this, setup everything. I'm just going to log in and will show you the system. So you'll get the entire recap. Don't worry about that. There's nothing
Yeah.
missed as of now.
I just want to understand that the development quality production server is there.
Hmm.
This is only to create and modify, right? Any changes
Uh,
or
let's
to
say
test or to
let's say you
test the
have a
run.
production system, okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you are working for a client called Jindal Steel, or maybe Tata Steel,
Mm-hmm.
or Tata Motors,
Mm-hmm.
anything, any car company,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But will you, and they ask, okay, Shashank, can you give me this XYZ details? And you say yes, yes, and you make the changes in their production system, and the
Okay.
production system gets down. Down means they're not able to work, or they're not able to generate a PO. They gave
Uh-huh.
you a change in the PO printout, and now they're not able to generate the printout.
Okay. Hello.
So in that case, yeah, hello.
Yeah.
So let's say you are not able to generate the PO print. They are not able to generate the PO printout because of a configuration you change in the production system.
Okay.
So in that case, to avoid such kind of blunders, SAP came up, or it's not just SAP, it's every software. You have development system in which you develop, then you have a
Mm-hmm.
quality system to test,
Mm-hmm.
and then you will have uh, the last system is your production system, in which you make the final changes.
Okay. So we will be having all the three axes to do, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Aman.
So right now in the training system, you will not have three accesses. You will have only one access for your system, which would be your dummy system. It's a mock-up.
Okay.
Okay, Anuj, you cannot mute. Okay, unmute. Uh, Dear iPhone user, if my voice is a little slow, that's my bad. I am using a mic. You can see the headphones on. Uh, and I'm pretty sure that I'm very loud, because I get that every now and then, that I speak at such a volume that they have to switch seats. Okay, okay, great. Anyone else have any doubt in that sense?
I have one basic doubt.
Okay.
Sir. So as you mentioned in our first session, that SAP is like standard for everywhere, or like any country
Hmm.
process, right?
Hmm.
And now you're saying that based on the customer requirement, we can do the customization.
Yes. See, I told two things. One is, SAP is a very, very standard software. Okay. By that, what do I mean? I mean, it's like it comes with a standard package. Okay. What's a standard package? Let's say there's a default setting. Okay. That comes for industry specific solutions. You have a steel industry, or you have a food industry. Okay. So there would be different industries in which you can put the entire custom solution, sorry, the standard solution. But yes, of course, in every industry there are different changes. Let's say, like I gave you example of a PO change. PO change will be different for every industry, correct?
Yeah.
So in that case, what I will be doing is I'll be changing that PO layout, printout, or and all that details, and I'll be giving it to the client. Any other doubt in that?
No doubt. Thank you.
Great. And to add a little bit on it is the workflow, or maybe you can also check the interfaces. You can also check the reports. Let's say you have the SAP standard reports, which comes for inventory, but you are not satisfied or the client is not satisfied. They'll be like, okay, I'll not be able to uh, get this done with this report. Can you generate a report that is different from the standard reports? So I'll give you one very very good example that I also did once. So that goes for the okay. Yeah. So the example is you have a asset and equipment linkage report. Asset equipment means asset master, which comes in the finance part. The equipment comes in the PM part, but we have a material master. So it's our responsibility to integrate these two modules with our report. We have a MM report, we have a finance report. So in the finance report, what we do is we link the material master with the assets and the equipments, correct? So in that case we'll be able to get what we'll be able to get the entire details of the asset and equipment and how it is stored in the inventory. Great. Okay, let me show you one small thing. Okay, I hope break is fine for everyone because my login is also about to work.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yaman, actually, sorry. Actually, I last time also I have a query, but if
Yes.
asking that I may disturb for something. See, actually, the thing is that we are learning this course now, but we are in for the SAP market. We will be freshers now
Hmm.
because earlier we don't have the experience of this SAP. But now we are learning the course, but we are going to market as an freshers.
Hmm.
That is right. Is it right?
Yeah.
Correct. So then, how
Correct.
we are going to get the opportunities
See,
for the
there
courses?
there are different opportunities. Let's what I can do for you is once this like give me 5 more minutes. Once this is over, right? What I can help you with
Ah,
is I can share you the details, and that will also give you confidence. I think already Shami
yeah.
ma'am might have shared you one video that I made from my own phone. These are the
Mm,
real openings, okay? And I'll also share the basic details. That'll work.
okay.
Just give me 1 minute. Uh,
Hello.
yeah, I'll share the screen. Just give me 1 more minute.
Mm,
I just want to get sure that you have a good login here. Okay, it's not working. Wow, great. What I can do for you guys is let me share my screen. I've already saved those links, so in the future also you guys can refer. So the basic doubt you guys had was where is that? Second, it's not here. 1 second. This is one of the links. Okay. Uh, just sharing for your own knowledge. No. So these are the fresher jobs. Okay, entry level jobs you have in every other industry. For MM, it's like a fresher. See, so you have a lot of jobs in SAP MM. When I call SAP MM, it's a SAP MM fresher level jobs which I've searched. and you can get into any company. It can be product based, it can be IT, wherever you wish, and it doesn't end. Let me scroll more. There are different pages. It's in Vadodara, it's in Pune, Maharashtra, Delhi. You can get a lot of jobs, right? Bangalore, Mumbai, anywhere you need. And if I go to another tab, which is this one, it's not just for this. There are multiple openings. A lot of openings comes to me as well. So you can see, right? If I go to this, one second, close this ad. There are a lot of openings for consultant, no experience needed. Apply. All these are there. So if when you look at jobs, the job market for SAP has never ended. It will never end as well. So if you're just trying to focus on one thing at one time, maybe this is the right place to go.
Can you please share those links, no, so that we can have some.
I can definitely share those links. Just give me one second. So this is called your GUI. This is a this looks like this. Let me get you basic options button. You have interactive design. If I do not need one second, if I this is a visual design, theme settings. There are different themes, the right now the quartz theme is selected. I like the classic theme, which is much easier to focus and work on. So this is a classic theme. If I close it, it should get to the new thing. Great. Okay. Now it is again a little off. One second. Theme setting classic. It's not classic. Signature theme. Apply. So what I was telling you was there are different servers. Okay. Yeah. This is a better looking screen. You can see there is a group server. Group server means your system will be there configured. This is a SAP S4 HANA 2023 server, and this is a client. The client is there are two clients, 400 and 800, and this is the GTR ID, GTR at the rate 123. Okay, I might have mistyped the password or something like that, but it was this only. Anyways, I can get into a new system. So we have multiple systems right now. 122.165, and this ID would be PV. Okay, one second. I can escape, create a connection. Okay, so this what I'm trying to do is I'm creating a new system entry. So once you will have your own server, what you can do is you can take your own server and also connect with us if you have any issues. So this is the application server ID, which will tell the system actually where my server is going to be getting connected. So we have different servers. This is just going to be a demo server. This is not a real use case server. And I'll just click on finish. So once it is finished, this is a ABAP server that I'm going to show. Okay, not reached. Strange. Not sure which one will work, but anyways, tried a lot. So there are different clients, like we said, and I can. Okay, this is not. Okay, let me run this. Run this again. We have what is 4. So this is our server in which I am right now. If I click here, This is going to be taking me to our login. I know the login ID password. 1 second, let me put S4. This is just a different server, so don't worry about that. We'll get you the server that works. We'll check it. And right now, that server, it's did it got type or AR? Welcome. It's not working. This is 0103, right? 100 only. Caps lock is also not on. What we can do is, let me get that thing sorted first. Oh, my bad. Second. I'll share the screen again. Let me get this closed. Log out. We'll give you a GUI. This is your folder, and then you can log in easily. We have different landscapes that is done. I wanted to show you the GUI path, but maybe I won't be able to. So let's continue with the TR. So what's a TR? Anyone remembers I asked about TR? So a TR is a transport request. Okay. So the transport request means the, let's say you made one changes. Okay. So I already told you about, you have some changes like, let's say you wanted to uh, get it the PO changed, or maybe do the changes in the SAP system for the configuration of the vendor master, or maybe the material master you wanted to change. So in that case, you have a workbench request or a customizing request. So there are two types of request called a workbench and a uh, customizing request. So a TR is what? It's a transportable. It's a request. It's a object that takes your request from one client to another client and one server to another server. So let's say you have changed the object of pricing model, which is your pricing procedures, in which the category would be like your insurance or your freight would be there. It can be like your rebate would be applicable, means your discount would be applicable, or else there would be custom duties, the forest fees, the development fees. Let's say you deforested a land, right? And then you set up your own plant manufacturing unit. It will give jobs to humans, but what about the oxygen? What about the environment? What about uh, the flora and fauna of that place? So in that case, you will need a transport request. That transport request will come from where? It will come from the system in which you have done the configuration. So when we will do the custom changes, which is tomorrow, I'll show you how a TR is created. What's the T code? I'll give you the T code at the end of the session. You need to remember that, because tomorrow I'll ask. And there are different T codes. I'll tell you the T codes. I'll tell you the shortcuts. All will be done. Okay. So in a transport request, why we need it? Because there would be layers and there would be packages. So let's not go into very technical, but assume that you have changed the PO setting. It can be any setting. Okay. In a purchase order, which can be ranging from the vendor date, or the vendor code, till the name of the vendor, or maybe anything else you're asking the system to give, which is not in the standard SAP. Or in the metal master, let's say you added a field for any other module specific, that let's say there is a there's a thing called draftsman, there's a drawing. Okay. The drawing is needed to be attached, or you need to attach a photo in the metal master. That can also be done in the additional data objects. So you can do a lot of things in the SAP MM. but it might be standard, it might not be standard. Let's say you want to bring that photo into the uh, PO, or maybe anything else, any other document you want to attach. How that can be done if it's not standard is via transport request. There are two types of request.